Hi, this is Maggie. I've done the chart of Ghislaine Maxwell before, and I also did the Sinistry chart of her and Jeffrey Epstein, and they're almost one and the same person. You know, they're both very, very Capricornian. Yeah, so she's currently on trial for child trafficking, and I just wanted to look at her transits and see what's going on. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll look at her transits. Right here. So she was born on Christmas, December 25th, 1961 in Maison, Lafitte, France. But although she may appear really blessed, you know, she was born to this very wealthy socialite family. So yeah, that's the blessing of Christmas. But inside, she's a very cold person, and very cold, calculating, and conniving. So I don't want to read her chart again. I do remember vividly doing the synastry of her and Epstein, and it was pretty remarkable how much these two had in common. And you know, the fact that she trafficked for him, you know, it was just anyway. Now she's being tried for it. She's being tried in the courts. So the courts would be justice. Ninth house is justice. The ninth house is Sagittarius house. The ruler is Jupiter. So currently Saturn is sitting right on top of her Jupiter. Being, you know, tried in the people's court in the US under criminal charges of sex trafficking. And she, the question is she going to throw everyone under the bus? That's the big question, you know. Is she going to throw like Prince Philip, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, just to name a few, all the people she knows and has been affiliated with? Will she give them up to save herself and be in the self-centered person that she is? I don't know. You know, her reach is far and wide, but I'm glad we found her for one thing. So let's just look at her transits. Neptune, sorry about my voice. Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, is up in her midheaven. That's like, it's unveiling the secret. You know, Neptune is the planet of illusion, deception, deceit, and you know, it can be uncovering lies, uncovering. So this whole, you know, web of deceit is being unveiled in the courts. So that's Neptune, and it's coming out in the courts, and it's on her Chiron. So yeah, it's hurting her very badly. She probably can't understand why this is happening to her, why her. I think she was totally shocked when she was arrested, because I don't know that she even sees her part. But so Saturn is the ruler of both Capricorn and Aquarius, and it is sitting on her Jupiter in Aquarius. So that's the ongoing trial that I'm certainly watching. I did the transits for January 1st, 2022. So, you know, it's going to be ongoing. Her sun, transiting sun, of course, will be in Capricorn. And it's on her Mercury. And it's in her eighth house. Yeah, it's in her eighth house. Eighth house is joint assets. The joint assets are, well, one of them is she's charging her court costs to Epstein's estate, which is just, yeah, she's actually charging her best friend And the man that she was procuring underage girls for, the pedophile, and he's dead. He committed suicide in jail, or some say was murdered, but I think he just was. Anyway, she's charging his estate to pay the legal fees, and she may be looking at. I'm jumping to her north node in the 12th house. She's looking at jail time, serious jail time. And the bargaining chip is probably giving some names, giving some names up. And will she or won't she? She's got some Mercury, planet of communication. Pluto is bringing her down, totally bringing her down. Pluto's the ruler of Scorpio. It's in the 8th house of sexuality. And Pluto conjunct Venus in Scorpio's house of sexuality, also conjunct Mercury, is what the trial is all about. Felony, sex trafficking of young girls, and for abuse, criminal abuse. And Mercury is sitting right on her Saturn. Mercury is sitting right on her Saturn. Is 28 degrees. So this is her 8th house. This is the 9th house of the courts. She's being tried for these charges right here for Pluto and Venus. So that's how it's affecting her. That's how it's affecting her totally. And so it's a very, very public trial. Very, very public trial with the Sun, Mercury. So her 7th house, she has Moon and Mars. Moon and Mars in her 7th house of relationships. So she's feeling the aggression of Mars. Moon, Mars, she's feeling it very emotionally, passionately. It's about sexuality. Moon, Venus, it's the procurement of young girls for trafficking. Moon, Venus. And she always seems to come out smelling like a rose because she has this Venus. This brings me back to when I did her chart, and the synastry chart for Epstein. She's got this beautiful Mars, Venus, 7th house in Sagittarius that gives her this charming socialite allure that, she would present this charming front to anyone. And, they buy into it, but what's lurking underneath is this cold, cold, cold heart of Capricorn. Now, I'm not saying all Capricorns are evil by any means, of course, but in this particular instance, both her and Epstein just had the same cold, cold, cold heart. And they were totally bonded in this. And she was his pimp, basically. She was his pimp. So she used his front, she used her Venus and Mars in the 7th house to, sort of captivate people and to draw them in. And, it could be very, very charming and alluring. So currently she has Moon and Mars in her 7th house of relationships. So she's being called into account for exploiting her exploitation of young underage girls. So anyway, she's being brought up on charges with Mars. And I'm sure she's very emotional about it. Anyway, whatever. What else is going on in jail time? jail type 12 house is jails, isolation, solitude. So she's been holed up in this mansion when I think it was the DEA or FBI, anyway, just, she was totally shocked that they even found her. Like, how dare you come into my mansion and find me? Somewhere in New Hampshire, I think, just this really private hideaway where she's been holding up because, everyone has been searching for her. So at last she was found, 12th house, and Uranus in Taurus, came as a total shock to her that anyone would find her in her very, very top secret hideaway. She thought she was totally hidden away. But now her hideaway may be jail and she would be very shocked that she would even consider going to jail. But the question is, will she or won't she give people up? What will happen to her? Will she, it'll be shocking, whatever it is in her 12th house. It's money, it's assets, who is she going to give up? She certainly will be a threat to herself and others, so she needs to be under watch 24 hours a day, as supposedly Epstein was. And, some people are speculating whether he was murdered, but she has some very, very powerful names that, and it's not just everyone else in the world so much, every affluent person that she could give up. It's her. I mean, she is the criminal. So she needs to be alive should she be convicted on these charges to do some serious life in jail. Very, very, very long time in jail. So, yeah, that's about it. I don't care if this sounds biased. Yeah, you can see all this. I don't want to read her chart again, but yeah, she's got the square. Her transiting Moon and Mars in Sagittarius are squaring her natal Saturn. So that's legal matters. And you can see Pluto. This is the Malefics right here. You can see Pluto sitting right on her Saturn. Pluto, her Saturn is 28 degrees Capricorn, and transiting Pluto is 25 degrees. So it's like within 3 degrees. So it's exact. So coming down on her really, really, really hard, really hard. Mercury, I would love to watch these court proceedings live. So all I can do is listen to testimony, which is very Mercury conjunct Saturn. It's very, very, very public. And Saturn in Aquarius conjunct her Jupiter. It's all over media, all over media. The airwaves, which is Aquarius. And then Jupiter on her Chiron. It's also bringing it. Well, Jupiter is the courts, and bringing it to justice and certainty to the people. So basically, we talked about these transits, and so I'm just going to probably end this because I have nothing more to say about her, except other than I was talking about the square, the square that. That's going on. The square is her Moon and Mars are squaring her Saturn, transiting rather. Moon and Mars are squaring her natal Saturn. So yeah, it's being played out in the courts, and it's involving everyone around her is scared shitless about their reputations, their assets. Will she or won't she bring them down? And I think really, really she needs to be brought to justice, which she is right now, but you know, with this whole Neptune. Will she weasel out of this somehow? Will she kill herself? Will someone else get to her? Will she, you know, I don't know, man. There's just so many ways this could go, but I really hope and pray that she is brought to justice. So let me stop the share. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please like and subscribe. And very soon I will get to the new year, but you know, I just kind of wanted to get to this. So everyone, please take care. Right. Later.